mentioned decanters, those oddly shaped vases used to hold wine or alcohol. But is there a practical reason to decant wine, or is it just a pretty bottle? I've got the perfect person to answer this question. She's accredited with the very prestigious International Sommelier Guild, and she's our very own wine professor, Caitlin Stansberry. So Caitlin, what is the story with decanting wine?
Decanting is really very simple. What it is transferring red wine from its bottle into another vessel.
And why would we do that?
There are three very good reasons why we want to do the terrific transfer. First, decanting separates wine from any solid particles or sediment that might be found in the bottle.
All right, what is our second reason?
Well, the second reason is because breathing is not just good for people, it's also fantastic for wine. Some very complex chemical reactions occur when wine gets exposed to oxygen. And this exposure helps red wines to taste and smell better by smoothing out harsh flavors and releasing aromas.
So what is our third reason then?
Well, the third reason is because it's festive.
Okay, yeah.
Absolutely. Nothing highlights your wine more than making a great big deal out of opening it.
It's like a ritual almost.
It's like a ceremony, and that ceremony draws attention to the wine choice that you've made. It sparks conversation at the dinner table, and it just makes the whole meal a lot better.
Right. And it's absolutely stunning.
Isn't it? It just creates an instant focal point for your table, especially at the holidays.
I'm dying to try this now. So can we get to the fun part? Can we decant a bottle of wine?
Of course we can. I'm excited too. Let's go.
Do this. Okay, Caitlin, so what do we need to get started here?
Tina, here is exactly what you're going to need. You're going to need a good corkscrew with a sharp knife on it.
Okay.
2 napkins, one to use as a liner for the decanter and one to wipe the lip of the bottle with.
All right.
You're also going to need either a candle or a flashlight that can be stood on its end. You will also need a plate, that's for the cork, and the foil. I like to keep my table very neat.
Okay.
And of course you're going to need a clean decanter, and let's not forget our bottle of wine.
No, we can't forget our bottle of wine. All right, so let's get started with this then.
First, you're going to take the knife and you're going to cut the capsule off the top.
Okay.
You make a cut on the front and a cut on the back, and you just work your way around with the knife and take the cap right off. Now, if you're just decanting for aeration and your wine has no sediment, that's as far as you need to go. But if your wine has sediment, you need to remove the rest of the foil from the neck. You want to make a cut up the side and just peel the entire thing off. So that goes on our plate. And now we are ready for the cork removal. You take the worm and you're going to place it slightly off the center of the cork on the top. And then you just get the tip in, grab the bottle firmly, and keep on going until the worm is totally buried in the bottle. Now, you're going to take your thumb and brace it, and you're going to just gently pull the cork all the way, almost up until it's out, and then stop.
Okay.
Now, we're going to take it the rest of the way by gently rocking it back and forth. And the reason we're doing that so that we don't break off the delicate tip of the cork in the bottle.
So you want to make sure that the bottle is steady and on the table. You don't want to pick this up while you're
If you're decanting for sediment, you definitely want to keep that bottle as still as possible. Because remember, the more you move the bottle, the more that sediment is going to mix back up into that wine, and we don't want that. We want it to stay where it belongs, down at the bottom. Now, you're going to take your towel, and we have to wipe the lip on the bottle of wine. A little bit inside and a little bit out, just to make sure.
Get rid of all that stuff.
Exactly. There could be some unwanted material there, to say the least, from the cork and the wine. And now, Tina, we're ready to decant.
Oh, I get to do this now?
You get to do this. This is very exciting.
I'm ready for this.
So take the decanter in your left hand, just position that right over the candle, and you're going to begin slowly pouring the wine down the side of the decanter. Now slow down, slow down. You're starting to get to the end here. You want to watch carefully as that sediment starts to creep up the neck. And we're going to stop decanting just before it starts to reach the point when it's going to start sliding up the neck.
Oh yeah, that's sludgy.
Yep, looking ugly.
Okay.
All right, stop.
Okay, so we've got about a 1/4 inch of wine left.
That's right. And you sometimes might even have more than that. Believe me, you do not want to drink that wine. Let me show you why. Why don't you pour that in here for us? If you drink that, you will not have to have an entree, I promise.
That's pretty gnarly.
You definitely do not want to drink that. So there you have it. You have just made your wine the 3 S's. Softer, smoother, and sediment-free.
That's so wonderful. Now remember, if you want to learn how to decant wine or want more tips from the Wine Professor, just log on to www.we.tv.